lost the cigarettes before the show? Outrageous.
You fucking idiots.
Unbelievable. It's like it's their first show. Do you know how irritating we must both be to them right now while they're looking for their cigarettes? Because you only look for your cigarettes when you need a cigarette. And so
there's only one way to look for your lost cigarettes, which is in a sweaty panic.
Yeah, like, where's my smokes? And the worst thing is, the longer you go without finding them, and the more your other two friends joke about it, the more pissed you get about the lost cigarettes.
The more that you actually need a cigarette because your friends are being fucking assholes.
I'm gonna vape up right now with my Nick juice.
Is the show canceled, Fox?
Have you looked behind things? Where did you last leave them? He left them next to an unsecured Hypercube portal.
Remember when you were a kid and somebody did something bad and you did that like 27-second long, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I
wish that would come
the first time I felt that way in 35 years.
Yeah.
Fox losing his cigarettes right before the show.
Damn, boy. Gentlemen,
don't lose your six. I don't know, man. I think it might just be me and you this week, Peas.
Goddamn cigarette.
Hey, don't you be talking bad about cigarettes, okay? They're my friend. Notice how I didn't assume my cigarette's gender.
Because you're not a trans girl. You're not a J.K. Tolkien.
A little bit of cancer never hurt anybody.
Not towards the end. We don't want those end years anyway, Fidd. Think about it.
Broadcasting live from Subbasement 27, deep in the heart of the Hypercore Hyper Studios in Hypervania, in the future capital of America's California, Orlando, Florida. This is time for the show. You lucky so-and-so you. I'm Dr. Fox, your guide on this extra testicle adventure as we dive deeply into things. Maybe even
and stuff.
It's fun. Joining us live via Hypercommunications, and you can too by going to timefortheshow.com and clicking the Discord button. Well, I like going the other way. I'll start with the guy that's like closer to me. I'll start with like live from St. Petersburg, Russia. Here's Fidd Chewley. Is that what was printed on this passport that was emailed to me?
Yeah, on that passport.
A good one. And
hey, buddy.
Oops, sorry. Oh, now we can see Peas. Great. Yeah, from Las Vegas, Utah. Here's Peas. Say hi, Peas. What are you doing?
Hello, I am Muscle Peas. I am very strong.
For those of you that can't see us because you're listening live on freethinkradio.com, Peas is flexing like a mad Chad, just ready to bend over some virgin puss. When was the last time you slammed some ass, Peas?
I'm not a fan of that kind of sexual intercourse.
Slamming ass?
Well, if you mean by anal penetration, then I've tried it. I'm not a fan. I go behind sometimes because it's nice to have those hips to grab onto. But, yeah, I don't like to talk a lot about personal, penetration things.
Well,
Well,
all
Peas,
sex
I know
is anal
you're.
penetration,
If you're not
Peas.
such a fan of anal penetration, you should ask the guy to spit on it first the next time.
Yeah, maybe.
Off to a
Good one,
rip-roaring
Fidd
start
Chewley.
there.
Get it? It's funny because I called you gay.
Which brings
That's
us to my
funny.
favorite part of the show.
Yeah, but no, what makes it funny is you called me gay, but I'm not gay, and so it has levels.
Well, we're being edgy
Of
because we're in
funniness.
Florida. So if every opportunity that we have to call you gay and mean it, we're just doing the Lord's work here. I
Now,
don't
now
know
listen,
which
in
Lord.
Florida, it's true that you guys just have one gender, right? A
Yes,
person that holds
American.
still long enough. A person that holds still long enough. It doesn't matter what their gender is. If they'll hold still, you're good to go.
Can't spell hold without hole.
There you go. And that's Florida, folks.
It's a
That's
beautiful
our
place.
future.
We're edgy because we're kids, aren't we? Aren't we like
Do
young
you have
bucks,
shirts
Peas?
with sleeves?
Not with
I'm just
this
curious
attitude.
because Florida seems like the place where a t-shirt is formal wear.
I mean, yeah, we did go out earlier today. I've got my formal tee on. Get it?
Yeah.
Formal tees.
Do you have one of those shirts? Do you have like a bright neon t-shirt with no sleeves and no neck? Just like two straps?
Yeah, and I have a
that's
Spring
covered-
Break '97 airbrushed on the front with a picture of a Powerpuff Girl throwing up in the toilet.
Nice. I think
I
they
just
should do
have
that.
a full body tattoo of a tuxedo, and I go naked everywhere.
Now you get those issued to you when you vote, right?
The full body tattoos or the
No,
sleeveless?
the wife beater neon pink or green t-shirt.
Well, because we are a one gender state, we don't really have wife beaters. We have them beaters.
Them beaters. I'm sorry. I apologize for offending you possibly.
Well,
You're not going
I
to
mean,
come up
I
here and slap
appreciate
me,
that.
are you?
Say what?
And tell me to keep Aster 6. You're not going to come up here and slap me and tell me to keep Aster 6's name out of my fucking mouth, are you?
Why? When did you put her name in your mouth?
Well, I wouldn't. I would never do that. I, the Peas, would never do that. But if somebody did say something, would you feel appropriate to assault that person on stage in front of millions of people?
Well, only it's not the funny answer. It's the true answer, which is only mildly funny. But I actually have hurt people for saying things and threatened them. I've threatened people and hurt them for saying things. The first time, not long after we were
Now
dating,
listen.
Someone called you.
Now listen,
someone
though.
called you
I want to
stupid,
ask you a question.
and I
This
put
is
them
an
in a
important question
chokehold
because
up against a wall. Remember that? Yeah. So I kind of.
So here's the thing. I identify with that, and I'm going to tell you something. One time, my best friend in the world called my wife Carrot's a liar, and I got into a fist fight with him almost immediately.
Mutual
I started
combat?
beating the shit out of him. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
No.
I got into a big fight with the guy. However, that being said, I have done what Will Smith did. You've done what Will Smith did.
You've won an
I
Oscar.
knew it was wrong at the time, but I did it. But I also didn't have millions of dollars to where I laughed at it first and then looked at my wife and saw she was pissed and then decided to slap Chris Rock. I slapped Chris Rock right away from an emotional place. But my whole thing about, I've done this, okay, in my life. You've done this in your life. And I can say I was coming from an emotional place. But here's my thing. I didn't laugh at what my friend said before, and then I looked at my wife and saw she was pissed before I attacked him.
Mm-hmm.
I attacked him right off. I feel Will Smith is a punk because he laughed at that joke.
Okay,
He
well,
thought that
while,
joke
while,
was
I
funny
know while all
till
the
he
kids,
saw his wife was upset, and then he feigned. He virtue posed being offended because he felt that's what he should do, even though he'd already laughed. His true response had already been immortalized forever. He laughed at the really bad
brings us to
joke
my favorite
that
part of the
Chris Rock
show.
made.
establishing context for whatever we're rambling about. So, Well, I'm sure that the kids at home in the Hypercom know exactly what's going on. For the kids at home without their acoustic earplugs in, Peas, will you please recap the events of which you are speaking?
So the Oscars, the 95th fucking Oscars, is that like are people before it even happens? They're complaining about
the Oscars only had 95.
The ratings are bad. People don't know why they even have the show anymore. And lo and behold, in this particular Oscars, Chris Rock, and this is exactly what happens at X Day every fucking time. Okay, Chris Rock makes a shitty bad joke about Will Smith's wife Jada, who we know is cheated on him, and Will's cool with that. Not that that has any bearing on this whatsoever. And we know that Chris Rock has made fun of the Pinkett Smiths before. It is a part of being a power Hollywood couple. Jada Smith, Pinkett Smith made a big deal a couple years ago about boycotting the Oscars when she had nothing in the pot to even go to, and Chris Rock made a joke. That's like me boycotting Rihanna's house party, when the reality is I wasn't invited. And so this goes back a ways, but she has a disease that they have a special word for it for women. When it happens to men, they just call it baldness. When it happens to women, it has a whole like alpaca syndrome or something, okay? But the reality is a lot of women, just like men, go bald, and most of those women throw on a wig and they move on with their lives. They're great. But Jada Pinkett Smith wants to make a whole I am the spokesperson of alpaca pattern baldness in women. And so she goes to the Oscars with the shaved head. Now here's where Chris Rock makes a couple of really basic comedic mistakes. One is, it is a well-known fact in the world, you do not talk, touch, or discuss a black woman's hair in any way, shape, or form. It is the equivalent to calling a black man the N-word to discuss a black woman's hair. And Chris Rock, being black, should know this, okay? But he makes a feeble attempt to comparing Jada Pinkett Smith to a super hot Demi Moore who played G.I. Jane and shaved her head to be a Navy SEAL and's got abs and is smoking hot. And he does the joke and it doesn't land, okay? It doesn't land, and he moves on like any professional would. First of all, let me say that Chris Rock is my birthday brother. Chris Rock and I are the exact same age.
And
we
Jimmy
have the exact same birthday. In an alternate universe, I'm the white Chris Rock, and Chris is the black, Chris is the black Peas. Okay, so that's happened somewhere already in the universe. But that being said, he tries to move on. Now, Will Smith, who laughs at the joke, as a matter of fact, he's the only person in the audience that laughs at this joke, decides like 2 minutes later to get up out of his chair, walk up on the stage, and I don't know why you can just walk up on the stage in the middle of the Oscars, Will Smith or not. It seems like security at some point would step in and go, oh, you know, this is not part of the show, and then physically assaults Chris Rock for saying a bad joke about his wife. And I don't want to, it's medical issue, this and that, whatever, it was a bad joke. Ricky Gervais has done bad jokes at the Oscars. Wanda Sykes made a career out of doing bad jokes at the Oscars about people.
Now, Amy
Part
Schumer
of going
steals
to
hers,
the Oscars is acknowledging the fact that you're going to be roasted to some extent by the host. Now, here's the other thing. Will Smith gets up, slaps Chris Rock. What's the outcome of that? He then swears at him, says, keep my wife's fucking name out of your mouth. But here's the thing that it affected. Questlove who is a wonderful fucking artist, a black artist, if I might add, made a great documentary called The Summer of Soul, okay? The Summer of Soul. And no one is discussing the historical aspect of a guy like Questlove making a documentary that won an Oscar because Will Smith took it upon himself to slap Chris Rock in the middle of his act, in the middle of hosting the Oscars, and giving Questlove his Oscar, attacks the man. Now, if any one of us, regardless of our color, in any other circumstances, had done that at some kind of event, we would have been asked to leave. We had a guy at X-Day that did something similar. He didn't slap anybody, but he pissed on some people's cars, destroyed his fucking tent. Dude, you gotta go. You can't be at the Oscars anymore.
Punched a tree.
Will Smith, you fucking slapped one of the hostess. You need to fucking go. And this is what's so stupid about the whole thing. If Will Smith was really offended and he really wanted to send a message to the Academy, what he would have done and what any gentleman would have done, and I liked Will Smith until this happened, what any gentleman would have done is he would have picked his wife's hand up, he would have stood up, and he would have walked out, knowing he was up for fucking Best Picture or Best Actor of the Year. And it would have looked like he could have really fucked Chris Rock over by doing that.
These aren't.
And then Chris Rock would really look like a fucking
You're forgetting something. You're forgetting something, Peace. Yeah, that would be like the classy thing to do. That would be the high road way.
That's what I would
do.
do
But
it.
these are
But-
people that spend their weekend allowance on joining a new sex cult every other week and then blow the rest on drugs you and I haven't even heard of yet. These aren't normal, regular
We're not even
people.
allowed to have.
Well,
Yeah.
keep in mind,
We
we're
can't
talking
have
about
the
special world
pituitary
of
glands of
privilege.
unborn babies. We're not allowed to have the fucking pituitary glands of aborted fetuses because we're not part of the elite. But Will Smith can have all of those he wants.
Well, it's easy.
Bill
All he
Clinton
has to
can
do
have
is tell
all the
everybody that
unborn
Chris Rock is
pituitary
a
glands he
Nazi and he's
wants.
fine.
We don't even get that stuff.
Chris Rock is a Nazi, so it is completely fine to punch him in the face. He demeaned
It's
a woman.
not fine.
He made
It's
fun.
not
He made
fine.
fun of a woman.
And the worst thing about
which
this,
is wrong. He did not check
the
his
worst thing
male
about this-
privilege, and he slandered a woman
God, fuck
at
that.
a formal event, and got his comeuppance.
No, dude. No, dude. If that was anyone else in the world, they would have been escorted out. They would have been arrested. For the police to say, oh, well, Chris Rock didn't press charges or file a report.
Yeah, he did.
How many people out
wouldn't
there
it be
have
up to
had the
that guy
cops
say,
show up
"He
to
just
their
punched me in the
door
face, can he
in
just
some
escort
kind
it
of
out?" But you don't do that with millionaires
domestic
and billionaires.
violence situation, and the
laws do
cops
not
say, oh,
apply
you
to
don't
them."
need to press charges. We'll do it. It's outrageous that this guy's behavior is allowed. And
Well,
he's
here's-
a serial
I think
slapper.
the fun part
He's
is that
done
that he
this
slaps
before.
the guy upside the head, and then he still wins an award.
Well,
no, they
look,
might take
guys,
it away, but they won't.
you got to understand, when Will Smith was just a very young man, Uncle Phil used to slap the shit out of him at
Yeah,
night.
it's on tape.
When you grow up in that environment, you know, sometimes it comes out, and that's okay. He owned
No,
up to
it's
it.
not okay though. Here's the thing: he gets his award, and then he apologizes to everybody but Chris Rock, the person he physically assaulted. That any one of us had ever done something even close to that, we would be in jail right now because none of us have fucking bail money. But Will Smith not only doesn't go arrested, he goes out and dances all night. And today, after the publicity comes out, he finally, after the whole
Yeah,
4
isn't it
o'clock in the
interesting that all of
afternoon
this
says,
happened
"Oh,
like before
yeah,
the
Chris
best
Rock,
picture was
I
revealed?"
shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't
He's
have
as
slapped
fired
you
up about Will
because you
Smith.
made fun of my wife's medical condition.
Steamed peas.
Jesus Christ.
Your wife's haircut. She,
Look,
And-
here's the...
you know what? It was a bad joke. Move the fuck on. You thought it was funny. Oh,
Move the fuck on from a bad joke. We're sub-geniuses, peas. If anything,
Here's
a bad
the
joke is we're
final...
reveling
the bottom
in for
fucking
years,
line.
which the internet is doing
Will
right
Smith.
now with image macros.
Everybody, it was already known that Will Smith was a cuck because he let other people fuck his wife all the time.
Yes.
But now, because of the fact that he laughed at the joke at first and then saw that Jada wasn't smiling, and so because of that, he slapped Chris Rock, now we know he's not only a cuck, but also a simp.
I love you, baby. I'll prove it. Is Will Smith
And
black?
to be a cuck and a simp at the same time, I mean, at least if you're a simp, at least the end game is that you get to actually fuck the girl yourself.
Well, when you're
But if
when
you
you're a black
simp for
male,
cucking-
when you're a cucked black male, does that mean your wife gets railed by like little Asian guys?
Yeah, like a whole stack of them. You make a dildo out of about like 30 Asian guys. It takes about 80
Now there's
Asian
a
guys.
conspiracy theory out there right now that this is all planned by Chris and Will to help
I
generate.
said that. Me and Fox both said that. Like
I said it. I said it right after it happened too. But
Yeah.
I think too much has gone by for that to really be true. I don't think it was a setup. I think that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And here's this thing: have you ever been slapped, Fox, by a stranger in the street?
Have I? I don't think so.
I'm asking,
I've been
have you?
punched in the face. But,
Fidd, how about you? I want to ask you. I want to
by a
ask. Punch in
well,
the face,
hold on.
but
No,
Fidd,
no,
well,
you
I
got
know
that-
Fidd
you got,
has.
You got a poor illusion here. Have I ever been slapped in the face by a stranger? Have I? When we're talking about two people that not just know each other, but
Know
have
each
worked
other.
with each other. Like these two people know each other. Like if you were hosting the
Correct,
Oscars,
and they know
which,
each other's lane,
as-
right?
It looks
Will
like you
Smith
will be
should
very
know
soon.
that his job is to make fun of him at the Oscars.
Again,
We can all
we're
agree
talking
on
about
that,
a
right?
guy
You
who's
should
a simp
know.
and a cuck. You can't. You're using your like normal thinking logic.
My machismo. I'm using my machismo
Yeah,
to judge my.
you're such an alpha because you're so handsome and you're
Correct.
so alpha
Yep.
that
Makes
you
sense.
got to
Magma
remember this
male.
guy is a cuck simp or a simp cuck or a suck or a chimp. Oh, was that racist? But yeah, I mean you can't use.
So here's the thing. I one time in a line of cars in New England, inadvertently tapped the back of somebody's car. Like, it's one of those accidents where you both
You
get out
slapped
and
the
look,
back of his
and
car.
like nothing happened. I didn't even get out to look. The guy got out of his car. He's a big mafioso guy, and I go, "Hey, tapped you. Is there any damage?" And he reached through the window and he slapped me across the face. He said, "I tapped you. Is there any damage? Anything you want to do about it?"
Nice.
And I was so fucking scared and so fucking traumatized. I was like, no, I'm good.
You should have
And
asked
he goes,
him to
okay,
exchange your.
why don't you
your
pay attention
facial
to
insurance
what the fuck you're
information.
doing next time? So here's the thing. I can also identify with Chris Rock because being slapped like that, even if you made a mistake, that is a dehumanizing and an awful
And
thing
making-
for
and
somebody to go
making fun
through.
of
And
somebody
all Chris
else's-
Rock is trying to do, this is the thing. Let's remember something. Will Smith
and
got
a woman being humiliated on
Wild
television
Wild
isn't
West.
dehumanizing?
Chris Rock got
No, wait, hold on. Is a woman
for
being
hosting that
humiliated
show.
on television not dehumanizing? I think
I don't
there's
think
a big
so.
difference
I don't
between like
think
the
so.
Comedy
I don't
Central
think so.
roast and the Oscars.
I know you're playing devil's advocate,
No,
but I
I'm
don't
really
think so.
not.
I think it was a
I'm
bad
trying-
joke.
I'm kind of on the other side on this one. If I was in a crowd,
to be contrary.
no,
'cause that's your
absolutely
nature,
not.
Fox.
Even if somebody said something that I thought was funny and it was at the expense of my wife, and I look over and see that she's not fucking laughing, I have a feeling that my emotions are not going to stay the same as they were a few seconds ago. I could give him that. People do things when they're in deep throes of passion or broken Hollywood marriages.
So you've slapped a black man at the Oscars for insulting Aster Sex?
I have assaulted other people for insulting Aster Six.
Let's
But earlier you were saying that what if I got slapped by a stranger? That's not what's going on. It's about somebody in a role of the evening. The capacity is to entertain.
Okay, well,
and
I
delight.
wanted to tell my story about
Entertain
getting
and
slapped by a
delight.
stranger. I'm
And
sorry,
so
it's off base.
And so part of your shtick is to make fun of a woman's appearance. And then his husband comes and knocks you in the jaw. If Will Smith had gotten up and walked out with her, how many people on Twitter would have said, wow, what a fucking pussy. I would have gone up there and punched him in the face.
Yeah, but
right?
people say shit like that, dude. We live in a society. We live in a society where the one rule is keep your fucking hands to yourself. If you don't like what somebody says, walk the fuck away. Okay? That's what we're all taught from children.
Yeah, well, there's a legal definition of
and you
fighting
get a little bit of
words.
money and a little bit of fame, and now you're allowed to go up and slap somebody because they made a bad fucking
Chris
joke.
Rock and Will Smith have a little bit of fame. They are some of the biggest power players in the entertainment industry.
And so, don't they have a higher responsibility to set a better example for the rest of society?
It's presumed
No,
that
that's
they
bullshit.
do. What about fucking Mel Gibson?
I disagree.
How is Mel Gibson able to drive a car anymore? Right?
Because he has the Catholic Church behind him. He's got the Vatican fixing his shit for him. He's got the Vatican fixing shit.
Different world of people. They fuck with each other on their own terms. Even if the police had picked him up, he'd be out today. He would have been out last night.
Dude, some guys like that. Some guys like bald chicks. He's just mad because Chris was pointing out how hot his wife looked. Dude, it's a bad joke. I'm not saying it's a great joke, but I'm saying many, as comedians, which I like to think the three of us are from time to time, we make jokes that in our mind seem funny, and then we workshop them, and they don't fucking work. Now, here's the real crime. You don't think that was spontaneous, do you? You don't think that was Chris Rock fucking ad-libbing or improving, do you? His whole fucking bit was approved by 15 fucking censors, and most of what he said was already hashed out.
Why would a censor pull a joke? I mean, what's against broadcasting standards on that?
Oh, he would have said you can't make a joke about a black woman's hair, because any censor with his salt would have said, hey, you can't make a joke about a black woman's hair. We know that from Wanda Skykes. We know that from Whoopi Goldberg. We know that from fucking life experience.
A censor?
You don't touch black people's hair and go, oh, this is awesome. I was taught that that's part of white privilege, thinking you can do that.
Okay, look, there's
maybe
a really easy way.
Maybe Will Smith has got the white privilege.
There's a really easy way to figure this out right now, okay? Let's run a little simulation. Dr. Fox, your wife is present.
Yes.
Okay, well, I am going to do the same thing to you and your wife.
Don't do it, Fidd!
That Chris Rock did.
You're too
Will
frail
and
for a
Jada
slap.
Smith. And let's just see what happens. We'll just run a little simulation experiment here. Okay, ready?
Not experiment.
All right, yeah, everybody here on time for the show. And yeah, there's Dr. Fox and his wife over there. Man, Aster, I bet you will probably soon star in a movie playing a character that looks the way that you do in real life. All right. Now, Dr. Fox, do you wish to smack me?
Complimentary.
Well,
Yes or no?
Well, is it? Are you still Fidd Chewley?
Aster Six laughed though. Aster Six laughed when you said that, so he's not motivated to slap you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it would be based on what if I
There
laughed?
it is.
So
and
what?
There it is.
Because she has
There
a
it
sense of humor.
is. Why can't you laugh about yourself, Jada Pinkett Smith? Why is it gotta be so serious?
Why did
that
you do
you're
it to
losing
me,
your hair
Fidd?
like
Why didn't you do it to
30%
fucking
of
Peas?
all women do? Do you know that 30%
He's
of
the-
all women suffer from her fucking ailment? 30%. A third of it's like if you meet 6 women, 2 of them have this fucking problem.
Go crack a joke.
And they're
about it.
sexy.
Also, it's Florida. Like, I don't blame any chick for shaving her head. It's hot.
You
You know?
historically, let's not
Hot down
forget
here.
that all Egyptians, of which Will and Jada proclaim to be descended from, shaved their heads regularly and wore wigs to avoid having human lice.
Peas, I don't even know who the fuck you're defending anymore.
Yeah, I'm
I'm defending freedom.
Did
to
King
say-
Tut
I don't
smack
know
you
what
in the
because
ass?
of
I don't know
bald
how
head
my
and should be
simulation
in
was
G.I.
supposed to
Jane.
work out. Where he said a joke about you and I'm not or am supposed to get upset. Dude,
I love Chris Rock.
Well, actually, it would
he didn't laugh
be
when
a
you
good
said that.
thing if
Now he
Astor
can slap you.
soon starred in a movie produced by a major production company in which she played a character who looks similar to the way she looks in real life.
Yeah,
That would be a great thing.
Now, here's the thing.
You'd be in a movie.
yeah, that's what
That would
put
be
Al
awesome.
It's not the
Jolson out of
first
business,
person.
right?
It's not the first person that Will Smith has decided he's going to slap. There's actually 3 other occasions where
How come
Will
you've
Smith
never
has
talked about
decided-
this before? You've never brought up
because
Will
now
Smith's slappery.
he's become a serial slapper, and now as a slappee,
Yeah, but you know what?
I
Scoop-
feel as a victim of being slapped that I have to speak out against the serial slapping.
I've had my
that Will
nose
Smith-
broken.
Well, it looks better.
Scoop Smith news guy would never wait until now to be the first to talk about Will Smith's slappery. He would have been talking about it a long time ago.
Wait a minute. I got to go back. What do you mean you got your nose broken? When you defended Astor 6, the guy broke your nose?
No, in a completely different situation. I've had
Oh,
my nose
well.
broken. No, not for comedy. My nose. Well, yeah. It was due to it was a comedy-based insurrection against my face and the army
I
of
once
these
got-
guys' fists.
Well, that's the
Got
thing. Out of the
Rabies defending my wife from
actually
somebody.
been slugged for comedy.
And I've slapped people and hurt people for saying mean things to my wife before, even when she didn't take offense to it.
I have to.
Yeah.
A person, not people.
So when
a
if
person.
Chris Rock makes fun
my
of your
friend,
wife
my
on
friend
TV,
Marty, who was part of the
I'm glad
Cleveland
you'll have
mob.
the gumption
My
to
friend
just
Marty,
walk
who was
out
part of the Cleveland mob,
and not
called my
accept
wife a
your
liar. And part of why I beat the shit out of him and punched him was because I knew because he was in the mob, if I didn't do anything, he'd never respect me again.
They used to call him Reverend Two Peas.
Yeah.
What show is this?
Wow, Peas is on fire about this. I'm
He's angry.
I didn't You get so much juice on Will Smith. God damn.
Because it's not right.
No,
It's not
moving
right
on.
that
It's my
we're-
favorite
favorite time of the
now.
show.
Good Lord. It's time for a break. We'll be right back after some song by some people, and then we'll
Did
come
you
back
find
and
your
tell
cigarettes?
you how special you are. Stay tuned. You're watching Time for the Show. You're watching / listening to Time for the Show, a production of Hypercube Lab. Find out more at hypercubego.com. This show is broadcast every week on freethinkradio.com and youtube.com/hypercubego, and is brought to you in part by a gracious amount of giggly goo-gaws at patreon.com/hypercube. Why, here's the names of some of the people that get a delicious weekly shout-out. Like this guy. And that guy. He's pretty good. I like him too.
Those people.
Yeah, they're nice. Where'd my notes go? Oh, do I have to do the bit again where I try to remember everything? Alright, so there's Reverend Red, Bob South, Michael Marcus, Couch Sloth, Caller 23, Posse X Fenord, Reverend Loch Ness, I'm a Subgenius, Agent Lloyd, Negative at Night, Dr. Cosmac, Posse X Fenord, Scowl Pod, Caller 23, Subject Heat Change, and Agnes Beef, and Scowl Pod, and if I forgot your name, it's probably your fault. Find out more at patreon.com/hypercube. We now return to Time for the Show.
Hey, I got a blind eye.
Oh, I got your phone.
What's
That's funny.
that mean?
Who's your blind
Yeah.
eye, Sid?
It's a blind eye, Fidd.
So, it's the U.S. Post Office. So check this shit out. So my mailman, I'm not an important person, so 90% of my incoming mail
Check your privilege, dude. Mailman, are you sure that's his gender?
Oh yeah, I paid extra to get a man as my postal carrier.
Lucky you, I got a
Well,
them
you want
thing.
your stuff done right. You want to get your mail correctly.
So, because I'm not important, 90% of the mail that I get is junk mail. And I literally go every day to the mailbox and take all the junk mail directly to the dumpster outside before I even go back inside. So I'm literally just ferrying paper from the post office to the dump on a daily basis. So I says to the mail guy, I says to him, "Hey, mail guy, is there any way I could put myself on some kind of like list, like no soliciting list or something like that, where I wouldn't get so much junk mail?" And he's like, "Nah, you're gonna have to like individually call every number on all of the mail and, you know, ask them to stop sending it to you." And I was like, "Yeah, I figured as much." And he said, "Yeah, and also that's like 78% of our business as the post office, so they're not gonna make it easy on you to be able to stop delivering it to you." Yeah. And I'm like, really? Because for the last 2.5 years, 6 days a week, I carry about 21 to 27 ounces of shit, of just junk mail, directly from my mailbox to the outside garbage can on a daily basis. All of that, and I'm, you know, all of the trees that got cut down, it turned into pulp, milled into paper, sold to some company, treated, and then printed with their shitty advertisements, and then sorted, then put in trucks that fired up and took it to my house just for it to me. It has a lifespan of about 17 seconds. In between the time I take it out of the mailbox and put it into the dumpster out back, it is alive for about 22 seconds. It has the little bit of bliss that it will ever experience. And then it immediately goes into the dumpster can. Truck comes, picks it up, take it to the dump, dig a landfill, put it in, fucking, and that's me.
What you just described is hell, though. When we die and we go to hell, we become a piece of junk mail, and then you're delivered to somebody. You're immediately thrown in the recycle bin where you're ground up into pulp and then remade into paper, where somebody else puts junk mail on you and mails you again. over and over and over again. You've probably actually gotten the same atoms from junk mail over and over again, and don't that demented person's soul that's experiencing their hell
Now,
in this simulation we call life.
As a post office enthusiast, Fidd, I could tell you about something interesting about junk mail. And that is sometimes, and
Oh, boy.
we do have stuff that we gotta talk about tonight. But here's something fun. So in your junk mail, do you ever get like a letter with an envelope in it that says, you know, put your money in here and send it back to us? Those envelopes are metered and registered with the post office, like you just described. And the postage is billed to them upon receipt of the package. It's prepaid by the company. But what's interesting is that envelope will work with just about anything it's attached to. So say you got a couple of letters from bill collectors that were harassing you over stuff you were pretty sure you didn't buy for some reason, or maybe you're just getting some goofy shit from Jewish Heartfelt International, or whatever crazy stuff is coming in your inbox these days. And if you were to take that envelope and maybe, I don't know, take a box and fill it with something heavy like bricks or bags of sand, and then affix that letter to the box and send it in the mail, it will actually go to that destination, and not only will they receive an egregiously ridiculous and heavy package, they will also have to pay all of the postage on it as well. And it's interesting that after you send a couple of those, sometimes they stop sending stuff to you. So
what a coincidence.
It's just an interesting arts
Hey, guys.
and crafts moment. I'm not telling anybody to do that, of course, but you should. Which brings us to my favorite part of the show.
Hey, listen. Is it about my haircut? Is it about my haircut? Because I'm wondering.
Is that
does
hot news?
I feel like my Hitler haircut is finally coming in.
Hitler?
Yeah, except for you grew the Hitler stash on the wrong side of your mouth.
Careful,
Dummy.
He's gonna slap your wife for
Right,
that
right.
shit.
But if you move that up, I really feel like I'm selling it. I really feel like my Hitler haircut is really coming into blossom.
If you're selling it, it's in the bargain bin. So there's Cube News. Do favorite part. We got Rubik's Cube is going on tour. We heard, what was the song that you picked over the intermission break, Aster 6? Do you remember? It's off their new album, Songs for Time Travel, and I believe that was Let's All Go to the Bitch's Wedding, available on Bandcamp right now. Check out Rubik's Cube. So they've got a new album.
I listened to that album 4 years ago. And I'm glad the kids finally got around to making it.
I actually went out today and put up another run of posters around town. So yeah, don't forget, kids. Rubik's Cube, they're going on tour. They're going to be stopping through Tennessee and I think South Carolina and Florida. And they'll be here Saturday, August 9th at Uncle Lou's. We will be filming a music video for Rubik's Cube. And
Dude, you said August.
did I? I don't know what time
Yeah,
is anymore.
it's
After
April.
X Day,
It's April.
after X Day,
Here's the
talk about
thing.
kiss your calendars goodbye. But yes, April 9th at Uncle Lou's.
Fox.
Come check out.
Do you know, Fox? Do you confirmation today from Vanessa that they will be premiering the song that I wrote for them? Let's all go to that stupid bitch's wedding. At Uncle Lou's.
We just premiered it.
April 9th. No, that wasn't that song.
That wasn't it? Sounded like it to me.
No,
Moving on, this is the
no, but they're going to do a
last-
song that the P's wrote. The P from a personal life experience.
Did you go to the wedding? I didn't. All right, moving on.
I did go to the wedding. That's how I know.
There is. Remember, there was the URL on the Fox cam. It was the top one. It's the text layer. So yeah, this is your last week to go to timefortheshow.com/ you gotta, yeah, there you go. timefortheshow.com/survey and take the Hypercube Labs Time for the Show interactive virtual online survey experience plus, and your data and your data, don't say data, is incredibly valuable. So head to timefortheshow.com/survey after the show. Don't go browsing now, you goober. And we look forward to your assistance. We also have Hypercom upgrades have been in effect. The rooms have been moving around. We've gotten nitro boosts, and so we've upgraded the audio and video quality, which, as you can tell from tonight's show with Peas, it's working great. So make sure to join the Hypercom Discord at discord.hypercubego.com, discord.timefortheshow.com, or just go to the website and click the Discord button, you dummy. It's the best way to bug me while I'm working. And not to shy away from, well, I'm going to shy away from it, but there is the big announcement coming, and we're going to film episode 199 with Rubik's Cube here in the studio, and we'll be making a major announcement. I think it's going to be 197. It'll be the show after the show. So make sure that you are subscribed to Hypercube here on YouTube and that you're bookmarking free things.
Why don't I know about the announcement?
Which brings us to my favorite part of the show. Did you remember earlier before the show started and you and I were
Piece about the secret stuff.
We were shopping because Fidd and I, we were talking about how the show operates and things like that. And I don't know if you guys ever hear it, but the pre-show is probably the best part of the show. It's the funniest part. It's the best part. It's the goodest part. The pre-show is absolutely fantastic, and it's a time where we are able to shop new ideas and come up with things like that. And Pease left today. He didn't even want to be a part of the pre-show, which is a shame. But that's what leads us into my favorite part of the show. It's the Peaso Box, where we answer your real letters to Reverend Pease. Sometimes Fidd and I are allowed to help, usually when Pease doesn't come up with an answer in the next couple seconds. Pease, you like helping the kids, right?
I do like the children.
Do you, why do you like to help so much, Pease? What makes you a good helper?
Well, I got slapped once, and I felt ever since that period in my life I should try to become a better person.
It took 6 years for me. All right, first question. Dear show, what do beavers live in? And that's from Al Dalton of South Harlem, Ohio.
Mom's ass.
Is that your final answer?
Are you sure, Pease?
That's my final answer. I thought it was proving downs. I'm sorry.
It's the mailbox. I haven't even gotten here yet. Because earlier Fidd and I went over the mail for the show tonight. Because it's like a written.
There was
bit.
too much pre-show that was being too funnier than show.
Okay, you sure? You want this one? You want like your own mail?
Go ahead. I'll do better this time.
Sure?
I'll
Okay.
do better this time.
I'm not going to hold you to that because we will need you to apologize profusely later. Dear Peas, where do the kids from behind the 7-Eleven get those cool jackets? And that's from Gary, Indiana of Shirley Templeton, Nevada.
Oh, that's an easy question, and I have the answer for it. When you've joined the military, the first thing they do is give you a field jacket. And one of the first things that they take away from you is the rest of your uniforms when they throw you out. So if you went to like Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Army, basic training, and only made it about 3 weeks into it before they sent you home to your mommy, you've got a field jacket. And of course, your whole fucking bet on what you were going to do. You even said it your senior year was, I'm joining the Army and kill some fuckers. And now you're back home 3 weeks later. There's nothing else you can do but wear that jacket behind the 7-Eleven. You don't want to wear it in the front because too many people might see you. But in the back of the 7-Eleven, the other guys that got thrown out of the military are there with their field jackets and stuff too. So you can do cool stuff. Yeah.
Make Four Locos legal.
Why?
Legalize Four Locos, America. Where's your jacket, Pease?
My jacket is safely in the Smithsonian Institute under projects that should never be repeated.
And heavy layers of cum.
I think they just beat up my kid and took my kids' jackets. And that's why I like them so much.
Those were your kids back there. Dear show.
They were my kids. That's the operative.
As far as he knows.
Not anymore.
Dear show, why do they call it Super Nintendo? And that's from Chisha of Mar-a-Lago, Russia.
Because it's marketed to kids, and super rhymes with pooper. And they knew that kids would go, Super Nintendo, more like Pooper Nintendo.
That is incorrect,
remember, it would keep it fresh in their minds in the holiday season when they asked their mommies console to get them.
It's obvious that if you're going to play Super Mario Brothers, you need to play it on a Super Nintendo.
How come neither Mario nor Luigi is black? Why is it called the Super Mario Brothers?
Because Italians aren't black.
Because
they're only black once they get to the United States.
Because
they should be the Super Mario Hunkies.
Italian people.
It's because one of them hasn't slapped Bowser across the face yet.
I can't wait to make a ROM hack where I make Mario and Luigi both black.
Because they didn't want the princess turned out.
And maybe I'll hack the fire that he shoots out of his hand to look like a basketball.
Is it wrong
as long
for
as
a
you
white
increase
person
their
to make
running
that joke?
speed, I'm good.
If Chris Rock had made a joke about a black Mario turning out the princess, would it have been funny?
Koopa would have slapped him in the face.
What about
maybe that's just the nature of things.
What about in the Super Nintendo Olympics last week where Luigi won gold in the swimming?
Well,
stunning and brave. Really, for that?
He hadn't been on gold. Listen.
I'm
it's bullshit that you get upset about that because I'm going to tell you something. Luigi had not been on gold. Luigi had not been on gold coins or mushrooms for over a year. So it's obviously his hyper ups were not giving him any kind of gender hyper advantage.
Super advantage. It's not a hyper Nintendo piece.
Super advantage. That's right. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up with Sonic.
Yeah, if you got Super Nintendo, what did you use to bash Genesis kids back in the day? Other than saying like, how's your one?
We'll have to ask Andy Shawgut.
Yeah, what's your one fun game that you're enjoying right now?
You tell them, I'm gonna blast process your fucking face.
I feel that's like Danny's whole problem.
And then you win an Oscar.
Is that he had that system with Sonic on it, and it's why he's got the chip on his shoulder. Everybody else is playing Nintendo. He's got one good game, Sonic.
I did feel bad for the kid in the neighborhood that only had a Genesis.
Yeah.
He's robbed of a childhood.
Yeah. Might as well had Pong.
Not $250, just a childhood. All right, dear show, this one's to everybody. Peas. Where did Dr. Pepper go to college? And that's from Adolf Smackler of Third Reich, Idaho.
Coca-Cola University, of course.
Is that your final answer? You know the show is live. We can't go back and edit out the fuck-ups.
Right. I guess the Mormon Church. Actually, Dr. Pepper was designed because it didn't have caffeine and it didn't violate any of the sanctions of the Mormon Church. It's a Mormon Church approved. A lot of people don't know that about Dr. Pepper, and many of its associates.
Favorite non-caffeine
Intern
beverage,
Peyote, Dr. Roberts. The Beatles talked about Dr. Pepper and called it Dr. Roberts. It's an exciting drink.
I thought it was a military guy.
Whatever.
Were the Beatles
Let's
draft
move on.
dodgers?
Yep, they sure were, before they all died.
Communists. All right, last question. Dear Peas. This one's directly for Peas.
Let's let Fidd answer it.
Should I do goat yoga?
Oh, I made Peace mad. Sorry, Fox.
Should I
That's
do
on you,
goat
go ahead.
yoga? And that's from Drag Scably of Podunket, Connecticut.
I feel like Ivan Stang sent this email in under an alias because, as we know, his brother, Ivan Stung, does goat yoga in Glen Rose, Texas, where every good American sends $50 to get their membership in the Church of the Subgenius right after they've sent their $35, which is a bargain, to Hypercube to get their Hypercube membership pack, which we don't talk enough about.
You're right, because we're out of them and I haven't made
Because we don't
more.
think
So
about
it's time
it.
for my favorite part of the show. It's rapid fire proving grounds as we pull this baby into the sea. Oh, that's right. I did take your phone. Now I don't know where it is. I tried
Proving
to
grounds.
but I lost your phone. Here you go. Here's your notes. It's coming back. I mean it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm sorry, Peas. I'm sorry I made fun of you on the show in front of all of our loyal viewers.
Yeah, go slap carrots.
It's okay. It's a comedy.
We're Academy Award level writers and winners here.
That was my improv
Yep.
joke.
We could slap some bitches.
And then go to their weddings. Make sure your mic's on this week.
There.
No, you already said okie dokie.
Fucking
You have to
microphone.
do it.
I feel like
I can
slapping
hear
artists for
And
saying
the
that
kids
about
hear
Astor
me and I
6, and
coming
she's
through,
not
you're
even
coming
my
in
wife.
loud.
Yeah.
All right, that's
yeah,
good.
okay.
All right, let's see.
All right, so a funeral home has been sued after a man hoping to be raptured was cremated.
Keith Richards smoked ashes and said, "No harm, no foul."
Wait, he's hoping to be raptured? But
Yeah.
he's been cremated.
Yeah.
But that would mean he's dead.
Yeah.
So I would think that's kind of
Yeah,
like,
but you cannot be raptured if your body is not intact.
Oh, that's right. I forget where everyone's just supposed to rise up from the grave and fly up into the sky. I don't know. I don't
So
have
he
a
was
joke
trying
for
to
that.
dodge the rapture. He wanted to make sure he would go to hell by burning himself just
If you
before
think
the
about it,
apocalypse.
the whole premise of Christianity's end times is a zombie apocalypse. All the dead people ever rise up out of their graves and start chasing people that are alive.
Yeah, I just hope it goes quick. because
That's
I'd like-
Christianity.
I'm hoping it goes by quickly because I'd like a velociraptor. All right, next joke.
A corpse was ejected from a transport van and injured a horse in a trailer.
One more time.
A corpse. It's a weird one.
Yeah, a lot of dead people this week.
A lot of dead people.
All right, what do we got?
So a corpse was ejected from a transport van in an accident and thrown into a horse trailer.
Colombian cartel still glad drug shipment got through.
Corpse.
Which one was the
ejected
mule?
from the car for not wearing a mask.
Vid, did you have one?
Boss, I got the good news and I got the bad news. The cocaine, she's all here. Luigi's body, we don't know where she's at.
The corpse
is
was
this
kicked
the
off the
Armenian
rail car
Italian
from wearing
army?
COVID mask.
Oh man. One more?
Yeah, this one will be better. Mexico is renting out their presidential jet for parties.
Children everywhere rejoice at the new bounce house.
Yeah, for a mere $6 million, you can now ride on Air Force 647.
Do Mexicans even have planes? Do Mexicans even know about planes?
Yeah, man, it's the Mexican president's plane. It's the best one.
I hope it has like one of those little chain link steering wheels and the little tassels in the windshield.
Uh-oh, what happened to Peas? He's
I
disappeared.
don't know. He's trying to get out. He's trying to escape.
Come back, Peas.
Show's been canceled.
Oh, there he is. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, she'll get it. It's
Turns out Mexico's more powerful than we thought, folks. They didn't like
No,
that talk
wait.
out their fucking
Full
Air
screen
Force
his
One.
face.
Drop our ass
handsome
right off
face.
the feed.
Oh, it's all right. It's time for my favorite part of the show. It's Peas' apologies, where Peas apologizes for the entire fucking show. Take it away.
So here's the thing, kids. I know that I got a little bit heated about the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock controversy that's hit the Oscars this year, but the reality is Peas is a justice warrior. Always has been, always will be. And he doesn't like to see injustice anywhere. And the reality is none of us are allowed to go up and slap people when we don't like what they say. God knows it would be a better world if we could do that, but we're not allowed to. And just the fact that you're rich and you're at the Oscars doesn't mean you should be able to walk up to a comedian who does a bad joke. Maybe it's like a bad sketch, and slap him because you didn't like it. I know that his wife suffers from what 30% of all women suffer for, which is premature baldness. You have a special name for it for men, but for women, it's the Appaloosa syndrome. She's got it, but, you know, they could have handled that so much classier than they did. And his whole posturing about it stinks to me of everything that's wrong in society and what divides us all. All I know, and what I'm not sorry for, is that I love you guys, and I love Fidd Chewley, and I love Argus Fox, and I love Aster 6. And when I say stupid things, I fucking apologize for it, okay? And maybe it's not right there in the heat of the moment, but I do apologize for it. And while maybe Chris should have apologized, it still doesn't make, in the heat of the moment, somebody walking up on a stage that makes millions of dollars slapping another man across the face. Let's not even get into the black on black crime aspect of it, because I'm not allowed to talk about that. And for that, I'm
Not with
truly
that
sorry.
attitude.
Our show, we did a good one. I thought that Fidd and Argus were very funny.
Well, that's what you get for thinking.
That's what I get.
Any last words, Fidd?
No.
Peas?
It was black on black crime right in front of all of us, and nobody said anything.
Well, you've been listening to Time for the Show, a production of Hypercube Labs. Find out more and subscribe at www.timefortheshow.com. And remember to go to timefortheshow.com/survey. Do it now. Now. And, yeah,
The show's over. It's
freethinkradio.com.
good to
Thanks
do
to
now.
Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha for hosting us every week. And thanks to everybody that watches on YouTube. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button. Updates all the time on Hypercom. We'll see you next week on Time for the Show. What the fuck was that?
It's a show.
What happened?
Oh, you got a cigarette. You're smoking that in front of him.
Mess.
Well, it was a good show. I liked it. What are you talking about? You didn't like it? You didn't think it was a good show?
Oh, no, I think we
now
picked
my
up when you,
feels so hurt.
When you dropped out.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Me and Peas never know what you're going to think about the show once it ends.
How do you know when it's a good show, Peas?
Peas thinks it's a good show when he was funny.
Doing it.
Did he do that tonight?
Yeah, he was funny.
Was he?
He always makes me laugh, whether he makes me laugh or not.
He's super He's super handsome though.
Right. He can always call that on his handsomeness.
I have to be careful around Nord because if I say the wrong thing, Eric might come for me.
Oh, he's in the house right now, but I'd let him know. I'll just open the door.
Listen,
Yeah, I'd hate for him to pop you in the jaw or
Earlier
something.
today, no. Tori, earlier today when you posted that thing and you said, "Oh, I just slapped some